Alright, welcome back to another Roblox tutorial, guys, and today we are going to be talking about how you can make cool custom attacks for characters using the Moon animator. These attacks will be essentially be usable for anybody using like Roblox Studio, and it won't be one of those where we're manipulating the part properties. If you want to manipulate part properties for an attack used in game, you're probably going to use Tween service. If you want to manipulate things for a video, Moon animator is perfect, but Tween service would be your best bet. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do here is just look at how I kind of have this set up. The very first thing I did here is I went to the character inserter, grabbed the preset here. This is an R6 rig. I just did that for the purposes of animating this, but it could totally be an R15 as well, or any other of these models here. I recommend using R15 because stuff is a little bit nicer looking when it's R15. Matter of fact, let's see if this now is R15. No, he's still R6. Alright, but yeah, you can use him kind of as a nice little model here in this little reference for this video. Okay, now, the very first thing I did is I grabbed these effects here. This is out of a VFX pack, which was in the toolbox. Let's go ahead and grab it real quick so you guys can see. Toolbox, recent, VFX. And these are pretty good VFX. You can always make your own, but this was the VFX pack I grabbed right here. There's also some auras and stuff you can do as well. They're pretty cool as well. And I could even add like an aurora or different VFX. They're all right here. But here's the VFX pack I got, and then I grabbed this ball here. And then I also grabbed this nice little swirly, which I think is pretty cool looking. And you can add magic or add whatever you want to things, It's all really up to you and how you want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and animate this right now. So what I then did is I grabbed those two things. I had the ball here and the water here, as you can clearly see. And the very first thing I want to do here is make these animatable for the character, right? And this would only really work with your just primary character model here. You can do things otherwise too and create custom characters with this and custom classes for multiplayer games if you just name the starter character, and you can play as this character. But to get started here, the very first thing I'm going to do is again make this animatable. So I'm going to click the humanoid root part here, and I always recommend when you do this for magic, you want to do this way. You don't want to weld this to the right arm, and I'll show you why in a second. Essentially, you're going to come here, you're going to do humanoid root part, and you're going to find the primary part of the model you want to weld here. To do the primary part, it's going to be right here. This is your primary part. So I'm going to go to the humanoid root part again, do the primary part, which is this one, and I'm going to click join in place and make it animatable. And there you go. You now have a joint here for that part, and then I'm going to do that same thing for here for this ball. Now, these are animatable in Roblox. So the balls here are animatable and everything is movable. And before we get going here, actually, what I'm going to do just for the purposes of him like walking around and stuff is just take the water here and kind of move it over to his left arm here. So he's kind of like holding that at all times. You can kind of place these however you want to start. The only reason is that I would have to reanimate the walks that he would do if I put them out here, because it would kind of look weird. So here now you probably wouldn't have to reanimate the walks. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to do that same process again. I'm going to go humanoid root part to the water here and do join in place. Now I'm going to do the humanoid root part to the ball right here, and I'm going to do join in place. Alright, so now let's go ahead, and this makes these animatable joints so they can be animated for the character. Right, now I can animate these things and they are considered part of the character in the game. So now I come here and I click new animation, tutorial, just like so, click confirm. I'm going to go ahead and add him, just like so. I'm going to paste my Moon animator right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a simple little attack here. And I like to animate things, by one piece at a time, which is an animation practice that I think you should get into, which is animating only one body part at a time. So let's go ahead and start here by just doing an equal sign here, or clicking the plus, excuse me, not equals, plus, makes keyframes here. And if you need just a refresher on all the shortcuts inside of Moon Animator, they're all right here. So please feel free to reference them throughout the video. But go ahead and create a start keyframe here. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in. At 15, I'm gonna have his torso come down just a little bit. Oops. Down just a little bit. Then at 45-ish, gonna have a full extension of his torso. Then I want to reset those two things from happening. So I'm gonna go Shift C and then Shift V to paste. That's just gonna be the timing for that. Cool. So you should have a nice little torso bend here. Nice. Now I'm gonna do the head next. So the head at 15 is gonna come and look kind of at you. I think kind of like that would be cool. And then at 45, his head's gonna bend down like this. Then I'm gonna copy these back two keyframes here. C from the 6VB, paste. All right, so that's the head. Let's look at what we got so far. Cool. Next would be the legs. So I'm gonna do the right leg here. And again, I'm using R6 for time here. Obviously, it'd look a little bit better for R15. I'm gonna go ahead and have his leg extend here. Excuse me. Have his leg extend here at this keyframe. Just like so. And the 45 here, his leg's gonna be really out. Kind of like this. Drag that so it's right in time here. Boom. And come back. Click these two things, copy and paste. Right there. Boom. Then the left arm, left side here, left leg. Right, 15. Go ahead and bring this back just a little bit. Right, come here to the 45 mark. He should really be bracing now. Left leg, 45 mark here. Boom. Kind of like that. And come back here. Shift C, Shift V to paste, so copy. And then V to paste. Boom. And now the last thing is his arms. Let's see how we're doing so far. Not too bad. This last keyframe here should be that. There we go. Should actually be. Okay, we'll work with that in a second. All right, so now the right arm should come out like so. Start to come out here. That at 45 is going to really extend and go this way, just like so. And here I'm going to copy this frame, paste it there. Boom. Nice. The left arm here, come out. Oops. Control Z that. Sorry, 15 mark. Left arm's gonna come out just a little bit, just like so. Then here, I want the left arm to come out and then over. Kind of encapsulating here just a little bit. And I'm even gonna change the head keyframe just a little bit here. So it's looking down just a little bit more. Kind of like it tilted here. And then even the rose is animatable, so I might have the rose kind of move up and down, which I think is kind of cool feature about this character is that his roses are animatable. All right, cool. Now we have something like this. Boom. We'll talk about the easing styles in a second. Now, here's where the magic happens, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the spin here, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to the 15 mark and move it so it's like moving with him. Boom. Sorry about that. Good little thing here, you can always clean models up just a little bit to make them a little bit easier to work with. Just like it wants to move here. Oh, is it anchored? Is that why? Oops, my bad. Unanchor it. I'll probably have to refresh out of here. Moon animator, file, open animation, tutorial, refresh. Finish up the primary part there. That's okay, we just won't have the water be a part of that animation. Alright, we'll just do this guy. Alright, so the fireball is right here. This can move, as you can see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a Control-Z here. Go to the 15th frame here. Kind of about right there-ish. And I want the ball to move to here. Right here. And I want it to rotate. About 90 degrees. Right, so about right here. Now, this is when it's going to get a little tricky, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit because I want this part to be done exactly how I need it to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over, make sure this is in line. So this is the point where he's doing the attack. All the way to here is where it's like attacking, right? So as this ball comes here, I'm going to want it to go forward. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to grab the primary part and I'm going to copy and do this by 5 keyframes each time. So this is where it last was. I'm going to go ahead and move it forward just a little bit and again rotate it. Then I'm going to take that last keyframe that I just did, copy it, paste it at the 5 here, right? This is where it last was. Now I'm going to have it move forward and I'm going to take this and rotate it just like so. Okay. Then I'm going to copy that keyframe, come here at 5, paste it right here. So now it's back where it was. Come forward again just a little bit, and then rotate it. I even want it to have a little bit of angular rotation as well. Okay, now I'm going to come here, copy this, come here and paste it. Come on. Go ahead and move this over. Actually, go, and you should see that. Come here, should be that, and have it move even farther out, like that. And come here, copy that frame. That frame in, and have it move out a little bit more and rotate it again. All right. And as you can see, that kind of does a nice little throw there. Okay, now I'm going to create a keyframe here where essentially it's coming back. I want it to rotate a little bit and I want it to rotate a lot. Kind of like that. And even at the start of this, I may also want his arm here to kind of come out a little bit, like he's calling the ball. Kind of like that. To kind of come with him. Cool, cool. All right, so it's a nice little example of an animation you can do here. See, these parts were good, they were not. So make sure, yeah, your parts are not anchored here. Okay, all right. Then we would also have to reprogram an idle animation for him if we really wanted this to work the way it seems to, like right now. But that's essentially the bare bones basics there of how this kind of like works. So there's a nice little magic effect. Now that I've kind of programmed that in, the next thing I'm going to do is the easing styles here. So easing styles is how like fast things happen, and you can set it on the timeline here, but everything's very linear happening, and I don't want it to be that. So like for example, right about here is where he's throwing the ball. So I'm going to click 7 to open up the easing styles, and I'm going to go to linear here, and I kind of want this to be kind of quadratic-y like that. And I'm going to do just in as the easing style here and see how I think about that. So now, not a great easing style. I changed my mind. Let's try 7 again. Let's do quad. How about in out? Make it a little bit more smoother. Yeah, that's a little bit smoother. And then even on the comeback here as well, I'd probably do in outs as well. So go 7 here, do quad in out again. And this still 100% here. Yeah, and then here, I think I want this to wind up just a little bit more. I'm going to take these keyframes and just push them back just a hair here to the 30 mark here. So now there's much more of a wind up here. And then here, I'm going to come here and just copy these 2 keyframes here and do a 7 here. And I don't want this to be linear. I kind of want this to be very like almost slower. So sine in probably be the best move there. Yeah, I like that a lot because this is kind of like a wind up right now, and then he throws the ball. And I may come into here a little bit and change the speed of these keyframes as well, because I really want this to happen as fast as possible, like even faster than the speed it's going now currently. So probably come in, just drag these in a little bit more. So that way it's going to hit that target and then come back. Maybe even faster. Not too bad. It could again be a little bit better, but you know, I'm generalizing here as an animation. All right, so that's enough with the animation there. I'm gonna go ahead and come here and I'm gonna click 5 just to export all, and there is the exportation of the animation right there. So now I can go ahead and save and close Moon Animator by hitting the slash key. Should be slash, which is this one. No, I gotta activate this first. There we go. All right, so now I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna click save to Roblox, and I'm gonna call this tutorial boss, tutorial _ attack, just like that. Click submit, and I'm gonna copy this right here and go ahead, close this, and I'm gonna create a script here, under here, and in here I'm gonna create an animation script. Now, if you're configuring this for a game, there's a lot that can go into this script per se, but I'm going to try and keep this pretty straightforward for now, and maybe even make a more detailed video about this later. But just a very simple script to have your character play this is going to be the following. We're going to go ahead and do a local character is the script parent, and then we're going to do local humanoid is equal to character colon find first child, and then we're going to look for a humanoid just like that, and then we're going to find the humanoid and we're going to do while true do, just so he's continuously playing the animation. You don't have to do it this way, obviously. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. I'm going to wait 2 seconds between each iteration of the animation. And then we're going to do find the animation. So local anim is script dot animation, just like that. And then we're going to go humanoid colon load animation anim, and then we're going to do parenthesis here and then do play. Just like that. And you can have a fade time, a speed, or a wait, which is the orientate, like which one takes priority is the weight, and then the speed that you want it done at. This is a nice little while true do loop that will alternate this over and over again. Then, with that also being said, I want to do something else here as well. I want to make sure that when the primary part of this ball is touched, you take damage. And I'm going to go ahead and call this, character controller, right? Char controller here. So now what I need to do is I need to go local ball equals character dot ball, and then I'm gonna find the primary parts by going primary parts, and that will be this primary part here, which if we look is pretty big, obviously. All right, so it's the primary part. Essentially, then if that touches you, ball dot touched, we're gonna connect the function. Connect function, and we're gonna pass the part that it touches here as a variable. So that's the touched part. So local hit humanoid, humanoid is equal to touched dot parent colon find first child of class. I like to do this because that way it's not just the humanoid in the character. It can be anything that is of class humanoid. So if I change the name of the humanoid, it doesn't affect anything. Okay, of class humanoid, if hit humanoid, then hit humanoid colon take damage, and then we'll do 100 for now. Right, and then you could do a debounce system in here as well if you had a different damage number, but we won't add that in. So this should play the animation, and then if that ball hits you, it should do damage. So let's go ahead and look here, see what happens. Hopefully I did everything correctly. Come here, jump in. There's the animation, flowing nice and well. And then if I'm fighting him and he does that, the damage script may be a little bit off here. Might be the only thing. If I put this maybe in the monster do, should trigger there, and then it might be something very minor that I might need to change here. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate the primary part here and call it a hitbox and scale this out. Just like so. I'm going to make this 1. You can't see it, and I'm going to call this hitbox. Sometimes the game has trouble registering touch events, I've found. So I'm just going to go ahead and weld this here, go to parts, not animatable, and then join in place. Boom. Okay, so now we have a hitbox here, welded to the primary part of the model. Then I just go to the char controller here, and instead of being the primary part here, we're going to change this to hitbox. And then this should register everything. Okay, hopefully I did that right. Let's check here. I'm gonna go ahead and click play here. Either way, you guys see how to create the nice little animation here of the guy. There we go. Cool, cool. And there you have it. So there's a nice little attack animation to show you guys. It was just because we didn't have a hitbox registering that you hit him. But as you can see, that's how you would create a nice little attack animation for somebody to attack you. And if you had a sword here, right, you'd have to dodge that ball coming at you, right, and doing all of that. And then, hit the guy, and then if he missed and he hit you, you would get killed. Cool, cool. So that's it for this tutorial, and let me know if you have any questions in the next one.